All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to introduce Angie Norris, who is our speaker tonight to share all of the amazing perks and programs that Park Lane has to offer. And I am going to brag on Angie for a moment because I've known Angie for a very long time, but she is located in Rockledge, Florida. And we've been friends for over 20 years in the direct sales industry. Oh, who is the Samsung? Is that Jericho or who is that? Is that well, Celeste is already here. Is that you, Tanya?
Yes.
Oh, hey, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you're here. Tanya is my hostess from last week. So, but anyway, so Angie is a mama of two. She now is kind of has much older kids than mine, but you know, one in college and one about to be in college.
They're both in school. Yeah, they're 19 and 21.
Oh my gosh. And anyway, Angie works for Park Lane Business. Pretty much, I would say between part-time and full-time. And she also runs a non-for-profit that fights against human trafficking. So she is incredible, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear her story and also all of the perks that we have here at Park Lane. So thank you, Celeste and Tanya and Lori, for joining us. And Angie, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay. Thank you guys again so much for being here. We know your time is valuable. And anybody that is watching the replay, right, because it's being recorded, yes, of course, let us know that you did, and you can still get in on the survey if you fill out the little survey and the free necklace thing by tomorrow. So as Katie said, we've been friends for 20 years, and we actually met in the direct sales space years ago with a former company. And I truly don't know what I would have done if I would not have stepped into direct sales. So Park Lane has been one of the biggest blessings in my life. But when I started in direct sales, my son was one, I was a teacher, and my daughter, well, I was pregnant with her, but I didn't know it yet when I started. And so I was looking to replace maybe half my teaching income and to come into something to where I could have a lot of flexibility and freedom. I did not want to, give half my teaching income for somebody else to watch them, which I know a lot of people don't have a choice with that, but it just didn't make sense to me after I looked at what I was making. So thankfully I hopped in, and it was again, I feel like that direct sales space gets a lot of bad press, maybe not so much anymore because there are so many people doing side businesses and side gigs, but it's really the best kept secret. And it is what you make of it. So because it was so successful, it really changed my life, the lives of my children. I was able to be a room mom, not miss any of their ball games. I had a color-coded calendar. Literally, I got to make more income than I had made teaching, and I got to not miss any of that and earn trips all over the world and things like that. So it surpassed anything I ever thought it was going to. I was the most skeptical person. I was like, this is not a real job. And so I truly was somebody who, even our friend that was in the business with us at the time said, I would have never guessed you would have been one of the people that would have, did what you did with the business. So I can just tell you that if you're here listening, you're here at, the right place at the right time. Somebody reached out to you because they felt like this would be something that could change your life. And it doesn't have to be, it can be in the small or big ways. So Park Lane is really, don't want to say it's the best kept secret, but when people find out about this company, I feel like they're just floored because I came over to Park Lane as a division leader. I was direct appointed in November of 2020. Katie had already been in the company for a little over a year, and I had seen all of her success. And because of what I did know about direct sales, I was just flabbergasted because I'm not an easy sell and I do not get easily swayed. And I really could not find a loophole. I felt one of the taglines with Park Lane is, if it seems too good to be true, it must be Park Lane. And I'm telling you, that's the way that it is. So having said that, I came in 2020 and I've loved every minute of it. I do most of my business virtually. I do some home parties and set up at some different events and things like that. But this business can really work for anybody, whether you've had any experience at all. I'm telling you, it couldn't be easier. There are so many ways. Your fears, just don't let them get in front of your future. Just have an open mind and listen, because as you're thinking of questions, if I don't already answer them, make sure you jot them down, because we have a solution for everything. Even if you don't think you can go live, or, oh, I'm not a
Or
virtual.
put them in the chat. Put them in the chat. If Angie makes you think of something, drop it in there and we can answer it along the way too.
And you could not have more support. It is right at your fingertips. So, and there's every kind of woman, men, every kind of age, experience. So really, when you say, well, maybe I want to do this, as you're listening, maybe you're thinking, maybe I want to do this, but there really is no but. There is somebody that had all those same questions and they are super successful. Mm-hmm. So let me just tell you first a little bit about the company, and just to share with you too. Of course, I actually said I was going to just do my nonprofit, and if I could somehow get paid doing that. I didn't know I was going to actually come into Park Lane, but it has been incredible. I've been able to work my business virtually, which frees up tons of my time instead of, always doing home parties. And Park Lane has grown so much. I mean, we are growing and growing and growing. It just grew in the pandemic. And so I've been able to earn travel trips already, and national awards and things like that. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. You just have to, have a great attitude about it and lean in and ask us anything you want. So I'm just going to say that up front as you hear all the facts. So we share good movies, we share Netflix series, we share recipes. We would be really selfish if we didn't share something with you because we're afraid of what you would think about us. So just take it all in and then ask us questions, and you guys can decide for yourself. So so the company, this is what's really awesome. The company has been around since 1955. So that is very what's the word, encouraging, comforting. They were really trailblazers in the direct sales space. So no one in the 50s had an opportunity like Park Lane. They were pioneers and really visionaries. So Arthur and Shirley Levine, this is still a family-owned company. They started it. Their dream was to help women become entrepreneurs and create a lifestyle that would support their family values, and for them to be able to support their family with a limitless income, but also have flexibility. So again, to this day, this company is family owned and operated, and everybody pretty much at home office has some ties to the family or is in the family. So Arthur Levine, the founder, him and his wife founded it. He was actually a CPA. So he came in with some knowledge that really was kind of like the foundation, created a great foundation for this company, because this company is debt-free and it's cash rich. So the family has also stayed true to Shirley's vision and wish, and this is unheard of. They have never taken more than 2% of the profit from the company. So as I share about all the programs that are in place, that is really the reason why they can do everything that they do. So most direct sales companies, and you feel free to look this up yourself if you like, take between 30 and 35% of the profit. So at Park Lane, all of that money gets pumped back into our program. So that is why when I talk about what they offer, it makes it so possible. So we have continued to grow during the pandemic. I think this past year, I think it was January, correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, we had the biggest month Park Lane has ever had in 66 years, January or February. When companies are, oh, it's January, it's after Christmas. We really just keep growing, and that's because of what they do for us and how easy they make it for us to share. So we're closing out, we'll be closing out probably one of our best years. So
absolutely. And can I just add something to that? I think it's not only everything that you just mentioned, but jewelry is just so easy to share online. I mean, there's not many other products that are just so easy to say, look at this, beautiful, bracelet stack, don't you want it? You know, it's very hard to say, you know, you would look great in this shade of lipstick virtually. And so I think that that really has a lot to do with it as well. And it's been incredible because when the pandemic hit, a lot of us who were in the company at that time, we were all doing in-person parties. And then all of a sudden we had to pivot and we had to switch it to virtual. And because we have such an incredible leadership base at the company because of our direct appoint program that Angie mentioned, we panicked for a split second, but then we pivoted and then we just created a new way. And it has been amazing to see our current stylists continue to thrive, but also people who were unable to do something like this because it was in person. Now people with health conditions, people, you know, who are in wheelchairs, people who suffer from depression, you know, now so many people now are able to do the opportunity because we are virtual. 90%, like Angie said, she still does do in-person parties. I do too, but sorry, I just wanted to add that.
No, that's great. I actually was going to bring the jewelry thing up about how easy it is to show. It is really, we know so many personal stories of people that has just changed their lives dramatically, because when you can do something like this from home, it's so easy to take wherever you're going and to show to people and to go live or to share in some kind of social media or Zoom or something. It really is just a game changer for your life. So, and jewelry is the number one item that women buy for other women. So we're always complimenting one another. You are a walking billboard. And so, and we are a lot more than jewelry. We just sell jewelry, but we incorporate fashion and things into it, and tips and just things that make women feel better. This is a feel good business. This is about women helping other women do and achieve and feel the way they want to feel. So it's really, they talk about that a lot, about the relationships with people at the home office and in all the leadership. They really do care about people at their core. So Park Lane we have a huge collection, first of all. Okay, so we have we have over 1,000 pieces in our collection. They're always introducing new styles. Okay, they're our full service jewelry line. And we have price points for everybody. I always like to say we have something for everybody and something for everybody's budget and style. So we have dainty pieces, bold pieces, designer inspired pieces, all metal tones, and career appropriate things, trend setting things. And we don't have to make that up. Everything that you've ever heard us say in a party or in a VIP group, or you might see a graphic for, that's accessible at our fingertips. We didn't have to go research all of that because that's already done for us. So that part almost seems too good to be true as well. So we actually have 27 different designers and experts in certain types of jewelry. I mean, we have boho designer inspired. A huge percentage of what we have is actually kind of inspired, as you will say, off of designer pieces. I'm always looking at anything I watch. I'm like, oh my goodness, that looks like Park Lane. That looks like Park Lane. We have a lot of natural stones. So our quality is so good. Cadmium free, it's lead free, it's nickel free. You probably know all that, but that's a really huge deal too. The fact that our quality is so good, and it's not just costume jewelry, it is fine fashion jewelry. So, excuse me. So on top of that, we like to kind of call this the trifecta. We have the quality and the guarantee. The guarantee, of course, if you don't know, just a reminder, or if you're watching this on replay, or maybe you haven't seen a party in a while or didn't catch this part, is incredible. It is really unheard of. So when you purchase with Park Lane, we call it purchasing with a peace of mind. You actually have 120 days or 4 months, whatever comes first, and to exchange it at no cost to you. So let's say your earring falls out of your ear and your toddler runs over with their toy truck, or you drop it down the drain and the garbage disposal gets it, or a stone falls out or something like that. Park Lane just considers that unlucky. Life happens. We've all done things like that, and they will actually replace it absolutely free. So that is a huge deal. I always say that helps me stand in front of you and talk about this because they stand behind their products. So it just makes it so much easier and gives me a peace of mind as well. I love when people actually, and I never used to feel like this with my other company, I love when people message me and be like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know, something's wrong with the clasp, or I broke my bracelet, or just anything that happened. And they're kind of afraid to ask. And I'm like, oh, no problem. I love that customer service part of it because it's just so easy, and we get to do what we said we were going to do without trepidation. So I love that part. So online shoppers, need to feel confident when they look at our pieces that they are going to be able to purchase them and they can have that peace of mind. So that is the, kind of the second part of the trifecta is the guarantee. And of course, I will get to the third part shortly. But one of the other things that I love is that there's no inventory. So we do get a lot of free jewelry, which I'll talk about, but we do not have to have inventory to deliver. Another huge game changer. I mean, that very fact right there, if that was to change, thousands of people probably wouldn't even be able to do this. I mean, who would have time to deliver? I mean, that's nuts. I mean, we don't even want to go get our own groceries nowadays, so nobody, everything, it's just the world has changed. So home office packs it and ships it for us. And there's free shipping on orders over $90. I mean, they'll even do all kinds of little extra deals and stuff sometimes, but that's our standard. So, and it ships fast. I love when my customers are like, oh my gosh, I already have my stuff. And they're posting about it sometimes by the time the party's closing. It's just crazy if they ordered right in the beginning or before. So that is another huge perk, in my opinion, is that they do all that. And I know that's something that's talked about a lot. So we are really, really well known for our programs also at Park Lane. So Park Lane loves on, we kind of say they love on, excuse me, all facets of our business. So we don't just do right by our people coming, our stylists, but they also do right by our hostesses and our customers. So our customer sales, our customer sale, if you're not familiar, is also sounds too good to be true, but we always have the buy two, get four half off deal. And the first two pieces that you buy are your least expensive, and then you're entitled to 4 more items half off, and we call that a 6-pack. We like to kind of name it that. So, when you go to a store, that's crazy. If I went into Macy's and I said, well, I'm going to get a headband and a pair of socks, and then I would like to get 2 Michael Kors purses half off, and some Tory Burch sandals, and maybe, this coat over here. I want to get those all half off. They would laugh me out of the store. I always say on my shows, they'd be like, security. So, but that's exactly what we do. We urge you to do that. If I see people that don't do that, I'm like, hey, you know this is a sale, right? Like your first 2 are your least expensive. It does almost seem like, how is this possible? But like I said, it's because of how the company is set up. So on top of that, they always have bonuses. So it's almost like if you walked into a store and every time you walked into Macy's, you knew it was buy 2, get 4 half off. That is such a, it's just such a encouraging reason to go there. So you're always going to have that. And they always have these crazy surprises, which are icing on the cake. 99% of the time, or maybe close to that, we have, when you spend $90, you get like a $200 item for $30, free shipping. We have all these bonus items. Sometimes there's a $100 item for free. Sometimes there's, 2 $200 items for $30. That's the fun, fresh part, is they keep it fun and they keep it fresh, but they also have that staple where you always know. It's almost like, I always kind of say, like a chocolate cake that is divine no matter what toppings are on it, but then you're always like, ooh, what are the toppings? What's on the side? Because that's the icing on the cake, are all of those extra things that they do. And it's all, you don't have to start looking it up. It's posted in your Facebook group that you're in. We're all a big team. We're a big family. It's on the stylist community. So everything is out there immediately. You don't have to wonder what it's going to be. It's probably in 5 different places. So that is very exciting to share with people, is when they're shopping, and it helps develop a relationship with people because you're trying to help them get the best deal. And many times it can be something that they're like, what? So it helps them reach out to you and you reach out to them, which is creates a lot of new friendships. You might be here because you're already friends with your hostess or somebody that invited you to this. So that is one of my favorite things is a sale. You 99% of the time, if you take advantage of it, you are saving more than you spend. And that's very refreshing to be able to tell people that. So also, another program, as you know, if you have been a hostess, is the hostess program. And it is crazy because I don't know of any other company that gives you credit and gives you free credit, free dollars per order. As soon as you hit that little minimum party, which is almost, it's in the bag because our deals are so good, you get credit per order. So it's like, we're always trying to get you guys 10 orders because when you get 10 orders of any size, they give you $400 in free shopping. And then there's a lot of times there's bonuses added depending on what we're offering or what the company's offering when you have parties booked, when you book on certain dates. So on top of that, you get half price items and bonuses. And I can't count how many people I screenshot sometimes, how many hostesses have taken pictures. Oh my gosh, I had a hostess say, this is just like Christmas. I came home from my vacation and it's Christmas. She took a picture of all of her jewelry out there. And that makes me so happy because I feel like that it was just so worth her time. We know it's worth your time because we're working with the hostess to get the most we can for the least amount of money. And then when that happens and they're showing it off and it makes them feel good, we're in a feel good business. Like I said, it's very rewarding. It's very rewarding for us. So when Park Lane's kind of philosophy, I guess I would say, and what you're going to see if you join us is that this is to take ourselves out of the equation. You're always going to be successful if you put your hostesses and your customers first. And that when they look good, they feel good. So that's really a drive for me personally, because I know I'm going to be right. I know they're going to get their jewelry and I'm going to be like, I told you. And so many people that say they're not I'm not a jewelry person. I'm like, oh, you're not yet. They don't know.
True.
They're not going to turn down the free jewelry. So they don't know how it makes them feel. And sometimes people are like, oh, it's just jewelry, but it really does release endorphins and it makes people feel good about themselves. So that helps people who are like that. Maybe you're hesitant because you're like, oh, I don't want to be a salesperson. You just can't look at it that way because you're helping people find a solution. They're going to buy jewelry somewhere. Why would they not want to get this kind of quality, this guarantee, and be able to earn it for free? So our hostess program is just the best. And so another program we have is where we personally, or you as a stylist when you join us, is the Rich Rewards program. We call it RRC. And you can earn $250 to $1,000 in free jewelry every month. I think there's only been 1 month, and that was when I was sick a lot that month, and I was kind of new, that I did not earn at least $250 in free jewelry. And I've been in Park Lane for 2.5 years. 2.5, 20, 21, 22, 2.5 years. Is that right? Yeah. So, so really, truly, when you're just doing this super part-time, you can earn $250 in free jewelry. I mean, many times we hear back from people, right, Katie? I know myself too in the beginning. I'm like, why am I getting this? Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
I forgot all about this. I forgot I earned this.
Yeah. And many times they'll even add stuff to it. So, but our program is set in stone where every month when you turn in a certain amount of sales, like basically, in the first couple of weeks of the month, you can earn $250 in free jewelry. And then there's other levels. You do a little bit more sales. They send you a designer inspired piece, and they're very smart. This company is very smart the way they do their incentives. That piece is something that's not out yet, but it's going to be. Oh yeah, Capri. Yes. Oh, anyway, that's an example. So we earned that. And then they send it to you and you have it before it ever comes out in the catalog. So you don't have to buy them to show them. And that's another thing is people are like, oh, how do you have all this jewelry to show? Most of the time I got it all for free or next to nothing, because of everything that you earn. It's crazy. Even when you come in the business and get your kit, you always get so much more jewelry than what you paid to come in. So it starts right then. And all the levels of free jewelry are cumulative. So it's not like if they sell, say, oh, sell $1,000 in jewelry and you get $250 in jewelry. Okay, now sell another, sell another 2,000. It builds. It's like, kind of like a house. Every all your sales kind of pile on top of each other. So that's super exciting too, because before you know it, you're just doing parties just here and there, or doing a party here, and then you got together with girlfriends and some people ordered here, or you had a Facebook VIP group where your friends are in there and you're sharing it with them, and you've earned free jewelry and a paycheck, and you get paid every week, direct deposit. If you turn in a party by Wednesday evening, you get a paycheck the next week, every week. I know a company and that I buy some of my skincare from, and she gets paid once a month. I mean, so, and I can tell by her posts, I know her, so she's stressed about it. So this is something that, you can pay off a credit card. You might just want it for funny money. You might really need this for income. I think, Katie, you shared that we learned most households are short right under $500 a month, right?
Yeah, $465, I think it is, per month.
And that really is, I mean, of course, what you put into it's what you get out of it, but that's really just a couple parties, a couple orders turned in at an average party that you can earn that from your home. You don't have to leave. You don't have to go train, and, it's just at your convenience, which I just told my husband that this weekend. I didn't feel well one day, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what I would do if I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful that all these things are at our fingertips from home. So another program we have, if your mind's not blown already, is a fundraiser program, and it is incredible. So we give back to any organization that is a 501c3. Like I had that kind of organization, and before I joined, I had a party with Katie, and they give back 50% of the sales to the organization. They actually cut them a check directly from Park Lane. So the other 50%, so let's say you had a $800 party, they would take 400, they would give 50% of that, so back to the 501c3, and then you would still make 50% on the other half. That's really unheard of too. That's not something that I had ever heard of. That's not any company. The company that I was affiliated with before didn't do anything like that. And 100% of the sales still go towards all of the things that you can earn with Park Lane, like our travel trips, RRC, the Rich Rewards, and everything. They don't take that away from you because they already gave money out to an organization. And that's because Shirley, our founder, was very passionate about giving to nonprofit and giving back to the community, especially for women and children. So that was something that really impressed me too when I came in. And I had seen that. I had actually seen that they had some items that they had showcased that they were giving back to certain organizations before I even came in. So I can tell you, this is just me personally. I watched and saw what Katie was doing. And because I did have a lot of experience, I could tell this was the real deal. I still took a bunch of notes and prayed and talked to my friends, but I know what to look for kind of, and some things that stuck out. And so I always feel like I'm so confident sharing it with people because I've had information from a whole lot of different companies, and really, I just don't feel like that everything touches this. And I'm not trying to take away from any other company, because if somebody's thriving and loves that, I'm glad they are. But for me, this was just such it was just a different animal. It's just so different than anything I'd ever seen. So, we have, we have so many things that go on with Park Lane. I have my notes right in front of me just so I make sure I don't miss anything. So we have vacations that you can earn every year. I always share that I never went on one vacation growing up, not one, unless you count your grandma's house in the station wagon. And I don't really think that should be called a vacation. And although I look back and that has fond memories, my family could not afford to go on any vacations. So when I know when people hear about, oh my gosh, I can only imagine what it would take to earn one of these vacations. it is a lot more achievable than you think. And the crazy thing about it is everybody, if you started last week or you've been in this company for 10 years, you have the same exact goal. You are on the same level playing field as everybody else. So first of all, let me tell you, we do 2 free vacations a year. Park Lane offers typically a tropical vacation and a European vacation. So for example, the first year I came in, they were both tropical because it was kind of getting over the pandemic and Europe was not a really a choice then, but I earned a trip to the Keys. And then I earned 6 months later, not even 6 months, a trip to Aruba. That was so amazing. And then a trip to Hawaii. And it's all expenses paid. Your airfare, you get there, you have many different incredible dinners and drinks and excursions and
Entertainment.
huh?
Entertainment.
Oh, yes, yes. And you get to bond with people that you've seen online and people that you are on your own team that you don't get to see. That is the missing part for, when everything's virtual is it's just amazing. You get to meet the family, the Levine family's all there. You can bring your kids as part of it if you want to. And so we like to say, whether you like castles or sand castles, Katie really likes to say that too. Everyone has the same goal. For example, this year, the travel trips that or the people are going on this past year are Cabo, so to Mexico in September, and then the trip that everybody just got done earning was to Paris, France. So I don't know how to tell you. Yeah, I know Katie's been practicing her French. What how it makes you feel when you have not paid for the trip, but you have earned it. It is just I love to see people's faces on the first travel trip they've ever earned. It's like when somebody has a new baby almost. You're like, see, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm not comparing it totally to that, but I'm just saying it's like they don't know until they experience it, that it's just you're so proud of yourself, and it's just so much fun and such an amazing experience. So everyone has the same goal. If you can't go on the trip, like for example, too, if something came up, like it was the time when your daughter was graduating or something, you can
Or
cash
pregnant.
out.
That's happened to me before.
Yes. Yes. Life things, something, happens, maybe positive or negative, you can cash out and they will give you the cash option. So that's another perk with Park Lane. And then we also have a Mercedes car program. So that is available at the first level of leadership. Okay, so you actually, and Katie can probably give you a few more details about this too, but as soon as you branch up, which is very, very easy to do, you can just bring a friend along in the business and they basically come in and just do, what we always encourage you and goal you to do, so you make money right away. You can branch up and then you're eligible for that. And there's people who literally, they came in the business 3 months ago and here they are, on their way to a travel trip. They were getting, part of the Mercedes car program, and you can actually cash out with that too. So do you want to explain that a little bit to them, Katie?
Absolutely. So like Angie said, starting at first level leadership, which is called the branch director, you can, through personal sales and personal sharing of the business, earn the MCP program, Mercedes car program. So my first year that I was in the program, I actually didn't get the car. I just collected the $500 a month in cash. And that was great. We were able to pay off our largest credit card, which was fantastic not to have that payment anymore. And then the second year in the company, we decided to take the plunge and go ahead and go buy a Mercedes. Now they do allow you to have the car be 2 years old. And so we got our Mercedes A-Class, which, believe it or not, was only about $30,000. And so our payment on it, I think, is like $470 a month. But whenever you actually drive a Mercedes, you get $700 a month instead of $500. So every month with that $700 a month, we pay our Mercedes car payment, and then we still have another, $200 almost left over to pay for car insurance or premium gas, because you do have to put premium gas in a Mercedes. I didn't know that, or maintenance, but yeah, it's a really, really great program. And I've never in my life ever been bougie, if you will, at all. I'm most of the time we're driving in our Honda minivan, but I will tell you, there is something so nice about driving in that car. You just feel like you are a different level, and it's so smooth. And I never saw myself like getting the Mercedes, but I'm really glad that we did, because it's a nice date night car. You know, we're a family of 6, and so we don't drive the Mercedes a whole lot, but it's definitely a nice little, like, you know, extra for me and my husband, for sure.
Yeah. So I was so shocked at that, because usually most companies, if they even have a car program, you have to be very, very high up in leadership to even be eligible for it. So
Yeah, it's very achievable, honestly.
yes. So we also have an incredible, generous profit plan. So we have, oh my goodness, we start at 30%, where you make 30% of your sales, of your commissionable sales. And so a lot of companies start much lower than that. And then you can very quickly, as you move up in leadership, add to that. And when you branch up, and then if you choose to keep sharing the business. And like I said, you know, that's totally up to you. You're not pressured to do that. A lot of people want to do that because they're so excited about it, or it happens naturally. Sometimes people are like, I don't even know how I'm, you know, bringing people in the business, but it's really just because you're sharing what we have. And that's the best way, is because it just naturally happens many times like that. So I love when that happens, when you see people just have a great attitude about it and they share. And, you know, I will have to say, I'm just being perfectly honest, I think it's so much easier to share the business when you don't feel pressured to do it, because our company is just not like that. They want you to genuinely share for the right reasons. You know, you're not getting pressured like, oh my goodness, who did you bring in? Did you invite anybody to this? You know, like, you want to share it with people because you know what it's done for you. And honestly, this is one thing that I've even, it's been an epiphany for me lately, is sometimes if you've had a lot of success in direct sales, you feel like that you don't, you know, because I never thought I would, but it can still totally change someone's life if they're even just able to pay that credit card payment every month by doing a party or two, or gathering, you know, orders and putting in 1 or 2 shows. You don't have to want to do this for a career. The opportunity's there. There is no ceiling. All these things are available to you, but it really can change your life to be able to do this at home on your own time, and to be able to pay things, or save for things that are life-changing things. I mean, same for your kids' college. By doing something like this is a life changer.
Yeah,
for them.
saving for retirement. I mean, most of us neglect that, and we definitely should not. Thank you, Dave Ramsey.
Right. So and you can make your way up to, you can make up to 50% commission. So and you earn pure profit weekly. Like I said earlier, you do get a direct deposit paycheck every week, and that's right on the website. You can see how much you're going to get. You turn it in by Wednesday midnight. By Friday, it shows you what your paycheck's going to be. There's no extra fees. The website is free when you come in. It's included in your kit, and the website is incredible. And you have access to our team Facebook group, and to a couple of Facebook groups, of the nationwide one, that's where we learn about everything coming out, and the graphics, the one that has all the graphics and all that kind of stuff, where everybody shares. Then you just have a renewal, or not really a renewal fee, but it's a website fee that you pay once a year when your anniversary comes up, and that's just $99. So that ends up being like $10 a month. You know, you're like me, you waste $10 a month probably on something that's not even, you don't even know where it went.
On a subscription that we don't use. Angie, is the next thing to touch base on the kits?
Yes.
Okay.
So we also don't have any quotas or any maintenance. So you never go down, you only go up. And if you have any direct sales experience, by the way, I just want to mention that you also want to talk to the person who invited you to this about our direct appoint program. So it's kind of like if you were a loan officer at a bank, you're not going to come in as a teller, you're going to come in at the level of experience that you have. So we also have that as well. So we have 3 different kits. Okay, I just want to change them a little bit. So I want to make sure I get it right. So when you come in, you can start with the basic kit, which is $99, and you get $500 in free jewelry. Okay, so that's really fun. That's very fun to pick out your $500 in free jewelry. Okay, or you can come in and get, I always, the names of them, they kind of name them always escapes me. The middle one is,
Oh, the standard
that's
kit.
that's the basic, and then the standard is you pay $229 and you get $1,000 in free jewelry. Okay, I know if I walked into a store and they said, if you want to pick out $1,000 in free jewelry, but just give us $229, I'd be like, point me in the right direction.
Yeah.
So just that part is,
And your website for a whole year is included.
yeah. So
So
that's
really, you're only paying $129 for
Yeah.
$1,000 worth of jewelry.
Yeah, and everything's on the website that you need. So that's another thing. And then we have our biggest kit is $439 out of pocket, and you get $2,000 in free jewelry. So whichever one is best for you, you know, you really can be very successful with anyone that you start with. So it just depends on which one that you feel like is best for you. So we covered a lot of stuff in this short amount of time. I know I talk fast, but really this is just something that if you were invited again and you decided to join, there's probably, or you decided to join the Zoom, there's probably a reason. At least it piqued your interest, and we're open to any questions you have, any help that you would need. I wish that I could show you a reel really fast of all the faces and of the successful stories, and you could just see the person's face and like how long they've been in and what they've achieved, because you would know that anybody and everybody can be successful in this business.
Oh my gosh, all ages, all stages, all personalities, with experience, without.
Yeah.
I mean, we even have opportunities now where you can even do style parties without even going live and doing a style party, through doing a messenger party. And so it's just incredible, the different opportunities. So Angie, thank you so much. You're so awesome. I am going to open it up just for any questions. If Celeste or Tanya have any questions, we'd love to answer them for you. And if you don't have any questions, then hopefully you will complete the little survey link, and then we'll do a drawing for our free necklace on Wednesday. So don't forget, it's a little 60-second survey. Just click on it. It won't take you more than 60 seconds to complete. Does anyone have any questions that we can answer for you? Hesitations? Anything? Something that you were surprised to hear about?
It all sounds amazing.
It is. No.
It is. It is. Sometimes I'm like, pinch me. Really.
I know, we're really, really spoiled. I gotta say, sometimes I think about, like, you know, with having 4 kids, I mean, I could never, ever work a full-time job. It would never happen. And then to be able to make as much as I want, give myself a raise whenever I want, and just the flexibility is just fantastic. Did you have a question at all, Celeste?
No.
Okay, well, we will chat. And I'm going to save this video because I want Shane to hear it, because I know that she's with Tupperware.
Yes.
So I think it would be good for her to like compare the two as well. So, well, all right, ladies. Tanya, did you have any questions before we disconnect tonight? Thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to click that link before we close out.
No questions. Thank you. It was great
You're
to have you.
welcome. Yeah, so we'll do our drawing on Wednesday.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right. Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.